Hello folks, I'm really excited about adding another feature to the homestead, or another livestock to the homestead. Stay tuned and I'll share with you what it is that we're introducing today. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Man, have we had a lot of rain this week. Minor flooding, nothing major. My creek in my front yard's running again. The backyard is running. The pond didn't flood. It's just running out like it's supposed to through the little spillways. But that's not what this show is about. The show is about the new livestock which I'm introducing to the hobby farm here. Now I know I have been talking about what I was going to be adding on my next set of livestock and the final set of livestock for the homestead. And I do have a place already for them. I just have to remove these because I need the flatbed part of the trailer to be able to haul my animal crate. I found these guys over on Craigslist a couple of days ago, and the gal held a pair over for me so I can come by today on my day off and purchase them. So, and also, speaking of Craigslist, I have listed some of my livestock on Craigslist, the ones I'm not going to butcher, and I ended up selling a whole gaggle of geese. There's a guy coming up from California to purchase 10 of my geese, which gives me enough. I can butcher a couple, and also you have a breeding flock left over, but it offsets the cost of the purchase of these, which I just purchased today, and the feed for a while. So this is excellent homestead economics all wrapped up into one show. So, excuse me while I use my manly muscles to get these out of here and load it onto the wagon. Okay. Put the strap on here so it doesn't fall off while I'm trailering it up to the stockyard. So let's go, and I'll take you guys along with me, and we'll introduce these guys up to our other animals. It'll fit in the door. That's a good thing. Okay, now that I got them safely in the quack shack is now, for the time being, going to be the turkey house. This is a Tom and a hen, or Jenny. You can call them a rafter, even. I did a lot of research on these birds, and the turkey, if you remember me mentioning it on the porch swing chat, that I had one more livestock to add to the farm, and that was a turkey, and then that would complete my whole farm ensemble of livestock that I wanted on my farm. Now, as I mentioned in earlier shows, I wanted to research each breed. I'm gonna have a seat here and get used to these guys and get these guys used to me. But I wanted to research each breed of animal that I was going to introduce to my homestead. Number one condition was they had to be of docile temperament. That was important to me. Number two is they had to be a hardy animal that could survive in an off-grid homestead situation, that they don't need electricity like for raising young. That was important to me, because with our going off-grid series, you could follow us putting the solar panels and wind turbine together, and a future project is the water wheel. So that's why I'm choosing specific breeds for the homestead. The Peking Duck, the American Guinea Hog, the Buff Orpington Chicken, the New Zealand Rabbit, the American Buff Goose, and now I have the turkey. So the turkey, I wanted to choose the same characteristics so they thrive in an off-grid American homestead. Now, some of you may recognize this particular breed. It is called a Narragansett. They were named after a breed of turkey that was developed in the northeast United States and named after Narragansett Bay, from which the area they came. Now, the origins of this bird are originally from two places, North America and Central America. It is said that in the 1500s, British sailors sailed to Mexico and gathered some Mexican turkeys, taking them back to Europe, and they became one of the favorites of meats to be consumed. So they had turkey farms of these Mexican turkeys over there, and adapting them, because they don't have turkeys in Europe that I know of. So they raised this breed, and then when the settlements started in the United States, they introduced this Mexican breed by way of Europe into the northeast United States. When they were introduced, they were crossbred with the native turkey of the northeast United States. So these are a crossbreed of two different turkeys, and both turkeys have their origins here in the Americas, both North America and Central America, Mexican and American, United States of America. So that's their origin, being half domesticated and half wild. Now, unlike the commercial breed of those big white butterball turkeys or Jenny-O turkeys, whatever company you prefer, those turkeys are bred to have very large breast meat, because they found out a majority of the population does prefer the white meat over the dark meat, while contrary to that, this bird provides a majority of dark meat. and it's the nature of their characteristics or their genetics. They do have that wild tendency, so they are capable of flight, whereas the white, large birds with short legs barely can walk. They are bred to mature quickly and get processed into your dinner table quickly. These birds, as you can tell, aren't as big and meaty as those other birds, but you're going to find a difference in the flavor of the meat of this breed of turkey. This is a heritage breed. They almost went extinct because of the size, and like I mentioned in a video I was talking about the heritage breed American Guinea Hogs, people would think bigger is better. Well, bigger is not necessarily better as far as the quality and flavor of meat goes. It's bigger and better as far as the monetary return goes, and that's exclusively what they're after, is to maximize their monetary return. So I'm sitting here getting these turkeys used to me, my voice, my presence, trying to get them to relax and accustomed to their new environment. I think they're enjoying what used to be the quack shack, but is now the turkey house for the interim until I can get something else built for them. One other nice characteristic I like about the genetics of this bird, being half a wild turkey and half domestic, is that they're able to inseminate their own eggs, unlike those farm turkeys where you have to resort to artificial insemination, as well as incubation. Now these birds will incubate their own eggs. They'll hatch their own young'un out and raise them, which is what I like. And that's especially important for off-grid homesteading, when you don't have the electricity to be able to put into a hatcher and incubator. So a male is called a tom. A female can be called a jenny, but primarily a hen. And the turkeys are also called a rafter, just like the roof supports a rafter. A young turkey is called a pullet, or chick. Another problem, one of the downside of this, is you have to keep these birds contained. Some people have developed this harness which actually goes on the bird and harnesses one wing to keep the bird from flying off, as is their tendency because of their wild side. We have turkey that are around here. They're feral turkeys, wild turkeys, whatever you want to call them. They are running around, and the toms will come in and lure away the hens, and you lose your hen population, and they become integrated with the wild population. I don't want that. So it's best to have an aviary built to keep these birds contained if you don't have their wings clipped or harnessed to keep them from taking flight, because they will fly. And that was their instinct to get away from predators. Another thing you want to provide for them is a 2x4 for them to rest on. You want to lay it flat like that so they don't get sores on their breastbones. The place I purchased them from, the lady works at, she works at an animal clinic, animal hospital, so she has quite the variety of birds, including emus, and she had an impressive setup over there. So she'd been raising these birds for upwards of 4 or 5 years and been quite successful at them, but she would incubate the eggs to get a higher success rate of hatching, inking, and brooding the chicks, the pullets. From what I understand, basic care of these birds is give them shelter, especially away from the wind, the cold wind. They will get chilled. Otherwise, not much else. They love to free range if you can, and they get bored easy. So I'll be throwing some feed, varieties of feed out here for them to pick through, so they won't get too bored. Well, that's about all I have to say about this bird and this episode here. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and joining me on this new adventure of going into raising turkeys. Now, years ago, I did have some turkeys when I was younger, but I ended up giving them away before they matured. So this is my first time experiencing adult, full-grown turkeys. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm in the Quack Shack. I want to thank you guys for showing up and sharing this adventure with me. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and also smash that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. You may also follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Google+, and Blogger. I will see you guys in more videos. Bye-bye.